In 1980, youth pastor called my husband and I and said, we have a couple coming here in this area with some snakes and a dog, and he's going to be Captain SeaTac of a new children's TV program. And so the first, I would believe probably the first Sunday that they were here, we befriended Braun and Jacquie, and one evening in those days you had church in the morning, you had church at night, you had church on Wednesday. And so Sunday nights was always a big thing to go out and eat. And so our first time out was a Mr. Munchies. It's no longer there now, but, and that was the beginning of 35 plus years of a precious friendship. And when I was asked to talk 5 minutes, I thought, how do you cram 35 years into 5 minutes of a person that is so special, that we did life together? When Braun was Captain SeaTac, there would be a lot of times when we'd go out to dinner, and Braun would always be kind of mobbed for autographs. And so it kind of got to be a little ordinary thing, and the kids were coming up and wanting autographs. And Jacquie just showed herself so true as she is, she just sat there in the background and let him do his thing and didn't let it bother her. Because she was the type of person that was in the background. She wasn't always one that wanted to be up front. And I remember when the show was canceled, that was a hard thing for Braun. Financing wasn't there for the program to continue on. And so a change of life was beginning to happen with them. Braun had to start going back to be an entrepreneur and doing his artwork. And there was some years there of struggles. But Jacquie was thrifty, Jacquie was steady, and she could make a dollar go a long ways. And she was one that wasn't caught up in materialism. Sure, she wanted it, but it wasn't always there, and she was content with that. There was so much that we did together in the church, not so in this church too, this building, but when they first came, we were over on 5th and M Street by Tacoma General Hospital, and we were involved in, her and Braun team taught a Sunday school. Braun drew and Jacquie talked. And again, as Brad said, she liked to teach, and our son was a product of being in their Sunday school class. And then we did the church campouts, and Jacquie loved that. You saw in the video today, her and I worked together in putting our church campouts together, and sometimes we averaged 100 people. And back then, there was no websites, and so when the first of the year came, you would have to almost drive to the place you want the camp out to get a reservation. And so there were so many times we'd drive down to Westport or down to Chehalis and get our spot and plan that and have, specials in the evening. And I don't know if you remember, Tim, you spoke one time at one of those campouts. And she loved that, and she was great at it. And then she was assistant to the church secretary or treasurer here. She, until just recently, she was the head of our email prayer chain. And this was very important to Jacquie. And we'd get them on Sunday, and then she'd take them home and put them on the email. And of course, as her health began to decline more, there was some Sundays she couldn't make it, and if it was a Monday, I was going over to take her to chemo. She wanted to make sure she got those emails. It was so important for her, but those prayer requests went out, especially when somebody was going to have surgery on a Monday or something, that people were praying, and that was so important for her. And I know it was hard because she had to give that up in August when her health had really declined. But we did so much other things beside the church. As you can see, we also went on some of those Long Beach weekends with kites. And she loved camping. She did, I think, growing up, right, Dick and Louise? She loved it with her, doing it with her children. We did dinners together, movies together. I mean, we've done birthdays, holidays together, and involved with the kids and their weddings. And I mean, we just have done life together, and it just seems weird without her, to tell you the truth. And a long time ago, I never used to wear pierced ears. And I had this weird thing about wearing pierced ears. And for a birthday present, she gave me a certificate to go get my ears pierced, and she went with me. So I got my ears pierced. So this is due to Jackie. And I almost forgot that until just this morning. It popped into my head. And then in 2001, Butch and I, my husband, we were going to go on this long trip. And a lot of you know, and we have a special needs daughter. And Jackie was willing to take Janelle for us when we were gone for like 14 days. And Janelle had never been away from us that long. And she was just marvelous with her. And to do that, she even had to take some training for respite care. And she would do that sometimes on her spring breaks because she had to have so many hours to do that. And she was willing to do that for us. And our Janelle adores her. And just a few weeks ago when we were celebrating her birthday, you know, the family was kind of all in there. And once some of them moved off the couch, Janelle sat right next to her. And in her little weak state, she just rubbed Janelle's leg, and Janelle just lit up. That one's the hard one because her friend is not with us. She was a hard worker. And as you can see, she loved her family. And she loved Carly and Meadow and those grandchildren. In fact, when the grandchildren came, we didn't see them as much on weekends because she was so busy with her grandchildren. She cared for their home. She maintained a lot of it. She helped Braun with his business. And I know it wasn't this summer because she was not even able to do that, but the summer before, she loved to garden. She loved to keep that front bed up. And one Saturday I went over and just dug in that soil, and she sat next to me. And, you know, that was the hard part, to see her not be able to do that. But what a joy it was just to sit by her and to work in that garden with her. And it just really lifted her up. And we just had such a great time. Jackie was steadfast. As Brad said, she was immovable in her faith. She was quiet, but she was mighty. And we talked about healing when we go to sometimes the chemo treatments. We talked about God's healing. But, you know, we don't understand, but she's healed now. She's whole. But she was okay with that. She was loving. She was giving with whatever she had. She was nurturing in her special way. She was so patient. A woman of integrity, kind, fun. And I do have to bring back a couple incidences when we were at the ocean. I don't know, I must have fallen asleep on the beach. And we just talked about this just before she passed, really. And a dog was peeing on me. And I didn't know, and she didn't even wake me up. And then she told me. And then another time, this will take us back. I think Brad and Eric will remember this. We went camping on the 4th of July. Braun loves the Olympics, and so we went to go up there to watch the fireworks. So we went, Butch and I, we took our daughter Janelle, and then the boys were young. I think Eric was like 8, and Brad was probably 10. So it was quite a hike. I mean, it took us most of the day to get up there. It was gorgeous. So we got up there, we spent the night, we woke up. It was raining, the clouds had dropped. It was miserable. I mean, I don't like that kind of camping. So anyway, it was so miserable, we packed up and came back down. And it took a while to get back down. And so I think Butch got down first, and my daughter with him, and I think Brad and Eric. Well, Braun and Jackie were not coming. And poor little Eric was crying, "Where's my parents?" And so Brad, you know, he goes back up the trail, and Butch, here they come, you know. They both had done something to their knees. They had blew out their knees with sticks, and Braun's hair was all over the place. It really looked like Moses and his wife coming off the mountain. Oh, man, we just had so much fun with that one. So just some great times. And one more time, sometimes, Jackie had this diet. She had free tickets. I've never gone to the horse races. So we went over there to Long Acres one afternoon, and we had no idea what we were doing. And so she said, I think I'll go make a bid. I go, really? So I think she put $1 down. I said, well, who are you going to, who do you want to win? I don't know. So she stuck it out. I don't know. We got laughing so hard. So all we did was laugh that day. Well, then we were wandering around the Long Acres there, and we got in this really nice area. It's all green, and stuff. And we found out it's where the winners of the horses are and the owners. And here we are right in the middle. And people are looking at us, and so we thought, yeah, we know what we're doing here. So we kind of stayed there for a while, and then we left. I just want to close with this from 2 Timothy 4:7. It's Paul. He wrote this, and I want to put Jackie's name in there. Jacquie has fought the good fight. She's finished the race, and she has kept the faith. And we've heard the phrase, gone but not forgotten. And I say that for Jacquie. She's gone. She's not forgotten. And a piece of my heart has gone with her. And I thank you, family, for the Clenzo and the Smith family. She is so blessed. And I thank you that you have been so good to us and how you've included us in so much. And the Lord bless you.